Welcome to this edition of World Business Commentary. My name is Belinda Boggs and my co-host is Kristen Ciccarello. Today's topic is about remote work and artificial intelligence. AI is the hottest topic in business today, and we would be remiss if we didn't talk about it and how it will affect remote workers, and, quite frankly, the entire workforce, remote or otherwise. Will AI cause a major depression, putting everyone on breadlines like we saw in the 1930s? Or, will AI be the impetus for economic boom and expansion? Let's find out. Kristen, what do you think about this idea that AI will replace many workers, creating a major depression?
Thanks. This is something that we've been hearing about for years. With the advent of ChatGPT and other AI tools, it's gaining more momentum. The question is, what will happen when AI really starts being used seriously? Will it spell doom for workers and the economy? Or could it actually be good news for the economy? Let's start with remote work. Is there some reason to believe remote workers will be replaced with AI? Let's take a look at an article from Business Insider from April 2023. It states, quote, "ChatGPT may be coming for our jobs. Here are the 10 roles that AI is most likely to replace." End of quote. Then it goes on to talk about several jobs that might be replaced. These include computer programmers, tech writers, teachers, and more. When you look at the fine print, however, we find several quotes that explain what's really going on, and we'll talk about that in 1 minute. First, let me say something about remote work, since we promised that we would talk about AI replacing remote work. Similar to the offshoring discussion from a previous episode, the discussion around AI replacing workers is in no way specific to remote work. There are no good arguments to believe that remote workers are going to be replaced by AI any more than workers who have a hybrid schedule or are in the office 5 days per week. But there is a good reason to talk about AI replacing workers. What's really going on here? Mark Murrow, a senior fellow from the Brookings Institute, states the following. Quote, "What took a team of software developers might only take some of them. Tech companies like ChatGPT makers OpenAI are already considering replacing software engineers with AI. Still, Oded Netzer, a Columbia Business School professor, thinks that AI will help coders rather than replace them. In terms of jobs, I think it's primarily an enhancer than full replacement of jobs," Netzer told CBS Money Watch. Coding and programming is a good example of that. It actually can write code quite well. So, this quote from Professor Netzer is telling us that it will be more of an enhancer than a replacer. Now, what about jobs in the legal field? Here's another quote. Quote, "But again, AI won't fully be able to automate these jobs since it requires a degree of human judgment to understand what a client or employer wants. It's almost like a bit of a productivity boost that some of these occupations might get, because you can use tools that actually do this better," unquote. The article includes similar quotes for other fields as well.
So, is the article suggesting that AI won't put everyone out of work?
Well, I think the article and its headline are constructed in order to make you click and read it because you might fear that your job will be replaced. I've had a lot of people ask me about this over the past 4 or 5 years. Will we have large amounts of people out of work due to AI? It's a great question.
So, what's the answer? Is it breadlines or economic boom?
I think to answer this question we actually need to look to history rather than AI itself. By the way, for you out there watching on YouTube, if you like what you've heard so far, please subscribe to our channel and give us a big thumbs up.
Great. Now back to AI and the coming depression. What can history teach us about this?
Thanks. Whenever I am asked this question, the question about whether AI will destroy all of our jobs and cause a recession, I answer with a question. Can you cite for me an example of a technological advancement that resulted in a recession or depression? Did telephones and telegraphs cause a recession? How about the automobile? What about computers? In the 1980s, we were told computers would be taking over everyone's job. Did we suffer economically as a result? But, don't take my word for it, let's take a look at an article. The headline of this article from the Foundation for Economic Education really says it all. Quote, "Technology creates more jobs than it destroys. Despite the claims to the contrary, innovation is a job creator, not a job demolisher." End of quote. The article goes on to explain more. Quote, "Where a machine replaces a human, the outcome, in time, is economic growth and rising employment. How does it happen? Innovation boosts jobs in other sectors, especially, but not exclusively, in knowledge-intensive ones. Lumberjacks, milkmen, movie projectionists, typesetters, and video store clerks did disappear due to technological advances. But do not panic. Technology also created a host of new positions that never before existed. Think about it: computing specialists, social media managers, digital marketers, energy engineers, software and app developers, drone operators, YouTube content creators. How many people are working today in areas that did not exist 50 years ago? The article also cites a report by the Institute for the Future, IFTF, estimated that nothing less than 85% of the jobs that will exist in 2030 haven't even been invented yet. The future is on its way. I think the article makes some great points. If history has taught us anything, it has taught us that technology creates economic booms rather than depressions and recessions. Governments around the world and the Fed have the corner on that market, creating recessions and depressions. For more about that, watch some of our episodes on the Federal Reserve. Things that create recessions include wars, Fed tightening, and things like that. Not inventions. Never have, and, I believe, they never will. They will only increase productivity, which creates growth, not recession.
So, it sounds like you're firmly in the camp that says that AI is a good thing for jobs and the economy in the long run rather than a bad thing.
That's right. And that includes remote work. AI should be very helpful in making people much more productive. When that happens, companies have more money to invest. How do they invest it? Do they hide it under a pillow? Nope. They will look to invest it in more opportunities, maybe some that AI will open up. This will be a big net positive for the economy, as long as governments around the world don't step in and mess it up, as they're so often prone to do.
So, there's risk there?
Of course. You already see all of the fear-mongering going on. People are genuinely afraid, and there's nothing like fear to create an opportunity for government to step in. When they step in, anything can happen. But I'm not worried about it. When people see the value as they did with PCs, automobiles, and everything else we've talked about, they won't let governments get in the way of the economic boom to come.
Well said. So there you have it. Don't fear AI. Embrace it and use it to become more productive. If you have an entrepreneurial spirit, use it to build a business. But, above all, don't worry about it. Even if you are working remotely. That's our segment for today. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it.